I am breaking the Zen facade today and laying it down, telling you how yoga will not fix you. Okay. Yoga is not a cure-all. It won't make you whole. It won't make you better than anybody else. There's a lot that it will not do that I'm tired of it getting blown out of proportion for. Stick with me because we're going to go over this today. Now, before you get too upset with me because you love yoga, I need you to know so do I. I've been practicing for over 25 years. I've been teaching for over a decade. I'm a seasoned yoga teacher who loves to help other instructors be their most aligned and authentic self on and off the mat. But today we're going to talk about why yoga will not fix you, why you need to get over that, move on, find another reason to be practicing if that's what you're there for. Because I'm telling you, you're going to just be beating yourself against your head against the wall all day long trying to fix yourself. There is a lot that yoga does for you. It is incredible. So let's kind of make sure we hash all that out because I want you to know I'm not bashing yoga. Not bashing yoga. I'm bashing what society, what media has turned it into, and also sharing some very personal things about the fallacies I myself held for so many years, thinking that yoga and my practice of it, that teaching it, that diving down, deep down into learning all about it, philosophy, everything. I thought this would fix me, cure me of so many things, and it didn't. And it was sad to me. So I want to save you from that. Let's start out by first talking about what yoga asana really is. That's what we're focusing on today. It's the third limb of the eight limbs of yoga. So just that physical practice. I'm not talking about the rest, about the pranayama, the pratyahara, about the enlightenment, all of that. I am just talking about the asana and how it's been glorified into this, practice that is super prestigious. It's not. You're moving and you're breathing, you're stretching with breath work in poses that you repeat repetitively. Let's get over that. Yoga asana was designed and used for young adolescent teenage boys, okay, to simmer down their raging energies so that they could be prepared to meditate. They were being taken on a journey towards enlightenment, towards refining themselves. And they knew back in the day, way long time ago, that these boys needed to get these energies, this pent up energy out of them so that they could even sit down to try and meditate and reach these more refined states. And notice I said men, not even men, like teenage boys were the ones practicing, being taught these asanas. Women were not even supposed to be doing it. And it's hilarious because what do you see now when you look around? Yes, there's a lot of men out there that do practice, that teach. There are a lot of the leaders have been men, but it's advertised mainly. And when you go to a yoga class, I mean, I don't have to tell you, you're going to look around, it's going to be very women dominated. So it's a little ironic, right? We see it, so beautified as this womanly thing when it didn't even start that way. So let's get that straight. Anyway, I digress. It started as a practice to focus on steadiness and ease and getting rid of those pent up energies. Now, the steadiness and this ease can be taken off the mat as well. So, this is a great way to learn the practice physically, how to be in a pose, steady, full of ease. All right, that beautiful balance, but also learn how to move through your life in the same way. What a cool thing, right? So, taking that practice off the mat. So it's not what society turned it into. It's not a brand. It's not a status symbol. It's not an identity. It's not a way to market some really cute clothing, which I love, I will admit to. But it is really truly a practice for the body to create that steadiness and ease, to get rid of some of that pent up energy, to do so many things. And it was not made to be this prestigious Instagram worthy moment all the time. And let's be honest, any movement can do that. Tai Chi, running, dancing. Oh my gosh, how many things, any form of exercise is teaching you how to have steadiness and ease within that. And it's getting rid of energy, it's moving energy, it's releasing stress. They're all doing that. So, why we make yoga, which is literally just stretching in certain prescribed positions and certain ways, which can be heavily argued which way is better, is it's just stretching with breath, moving with breath, and we make it out to be this like huge ordeal. It's not. Get over it. I love it. I'm not trying to bash it, but I'm saying let's have a little reality check here. Okay. So that you know, I understand and that I love yoga. Let's talk about a little bit of the good stuff that it does for you because there is so much good. I want you to do it. If everybody just did yoga, this world might be a lot better off. Let's be honest. Maybe just exercise in general, because like I said, there's, many common threads between all of them. So you're toning, you're increasing flexibility, you're increasing your heart rate variability, you are increasing or improving rather your posture, which is amazing for you as you age, especially. It's great for your bones. It's great for your ligaments. It's great to stretch move the fascia around the body so it doesn't get stuck up and hung up everywhere. There's so many great things physically that the physical postures and movements, the asana practice is doing for you. Beyond that, it's great for your mind. The physical postures are good for your mind because they still the mind. Now, yeah, you can still be practicing yoga and thinking about your grocery list or mad about something that happened 2 weeks ago with your best friend. You can still get distracted because our mind's great at that. But there is this inherent quality that comes from doing yoga where our mind stills a bit and it comes to a place where we're observing, we're the watcher, we're consciousness, we're there with our breath, with our body, we're feeling our body. Some of us are so disconnected from our body. This is why movement, any form of movement, truly exercise, whatnot, is a beautiful thing because it puts you back into connection with your body, which so many of us have lost, unfortunately. So that's a beautiful thing that comes from yoga. It helps to regulate your nervous system as well as releases all those feel good like dopamine and serotonin and all those chemicals in your body that help you out, helps that parasympathetic nervous system. It also can really set the tone for your day or your night. Doing it in the evening, the right kind, might not want to do a power flow right before bed. But, if you were to try some restorative or some slow flow or just, some hatha yoga before bed, miracles, wonders for your sleep, for your body. In the morning, it sets the tone. Your body feels good. You've connected. You're sort of intentionalizing yourself and your day ahead. It's really a great way to set a tone and a tone that you can come back to. You'll feel more when you're off. If you practice moments of being connected, then you'll know later, like, oh, I don't feel great. And you'll have that muscle memory, if you want to call it muscle memory, of going back to feeling in alignment, calm down, and go back to whatever your tone or intention is for that moment or that day. It also builds discipline, which is great for self-trust. So if you struggle with self-trust, coming onto your mat, and I don't want to say every day because not everybody can swing that, and you don't need to. Like there was a time in life where the hashtag, maybe it still happens, it was one that I thought of or used all the time, and I really felt like superior because of it. I would be like, yoga every damn day, yoga every damn day. And it was like you somehow felt, like I said, superior because you did yoga every day. Get over yourself. Yoga every day is great for you. Doesn't make you better than anybody else. But my point is, if you return to your mat over and over and over again, it takes discipline because you know that it's not going to be easy. Maybe the poses you do are easier because you're not perhaps doing a yoga flow that's a power flow and you just came to your mat for some restorative yoga. That's still hard. Restorative yoga is still hard because yeah, you're all propped up and you're relaxing, but how easy is it for everybody to relax? Because the mind starts going and gets louder and louder, and you feel yourself keep tensing back up, and you have to keep reminding yourself to relax, to release. There is no yoga that is easy. So when you show up over and over again, you are building self-trust. That's discipline, my friends. And that's a very good thing to build because when you trust yourself, you'll go so much farther in life. You don't need validation from the outside or from other people, external sources. you have that self-worth and that self-trust from within. So, such a great thing to show up to your mat, to your practice continually. And I won't say how often because that's a personal thing. And one other really cool thing about yoga, if you've noticed, is it creates community. There's so many apps that have a great yoga community involved. Going to classes, great way to build friendships that often turn into so much more. It really brings people together, even in a community. You ever been to a yoga community event? It's so cool. People, I mean, it just really draws people together. You do have to be afraid of falling into the trap of like the ego cults that are out there. Again, those who just make themselves out to be some sort of superior community or better than others because they're, I don't know, practicing every damn day. I don't know what it is that they do, but you'll start to notice it. Now that I'm calling it out, I think you're going to notice it more when you see like this sort of air that some people carry because of their yoga practice. It's laughable. It's so laughable. Stop. Just stop, please. Anyhow, so that's all the beautiful, not all of them, that's like a handful of beautiful, beautiful things that come from yoga and your practice that asana. Again, we're talking about the postures. I'm not getting into the full 8 limbs. That is a whole nother thing. I'm talking about the actual movement, the postures. Okay, so let's talk about what yoga will not do for you. These are the pitfalls. These are the things that some people might go to it for and then be sadly disappointed when it really isn't doing the thing that they thought it would. And I'm so guilty of this, and I'll tell you about that. So you can still do yoga every damn day on self-sabotage all day, every day. So true. I did this for years, for freaking years. I would teach yoga. I would practice every day, sometimes multiple times a day. I was doing yoga because I was teaching and practicing. I mean, I was like the yoga junkie by far, full on, the clothing, the mats, the malas. I mean, you name it. You name it. And guess what? I was still addicted. I was still angry. I was still full of shame. I was still making bad choices. I was still doing all these things that were totally self-sabotaging myself at the same time. Yoga did not cure me. It didn't. And in fact, it almost made me more aware of all my shortcomings, all the ways that I self-sabotaged because now I was, more mindful. I was really more aware of the harm I was doing to myself, but it wasn't stopping me. It didn't stop me. Yoga didn't stop me from harming myself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of it. Still. So I just want to share that because if you're going through something, my heart goes out to you. If you're addicted or you're struggling with abuse or anything that's out there that's really troubling you, my heart goes out to you. And I'm going to encourage you to keep showing up to your practice, but it's not going to be what saves you. And that might be a hard truth because maybe it's something you're clinging to, really hoping that it's your lifeline. But really, you're the one that can save yourself, no matter what it is. When your heart, your mind, and your actions come into alignment, your power is ignited and you can save yourself. You cannot export that to yoga. It won't save you. Okay. So, like I said, awareness can actually make you more miserable, or at least more aware of all the ways that you are self-sabotaging. And beyond that, yoga itself can become an addiction. I was fully addicted to yoga, probably because I thought it would save me, it would cure me. So the more I would do it, the more I thought, something's got to release, something's got to move. I just need to heal something. I need to get it out of me. And then not only that, the yoga itself became an addiction to doing it, but it became a total identity crutch, like big time. Like you just identify fully with it, and who you are and what you do. And that's not safe. That's not safe for you mentally to identify with anything too strongly, no matter how good it is. Trust me. You don't want that. That is a crutch. And it is also not doing, it's just not doing you any good. because you are not your yoga practice at all. You are not your yoga practice. Okay, so that's my point number one on what a pitfall and what yoga cannot fix for you. It's not going to stop you from your destructive habits and behaviors. It might make you more aware, might help you with discipline. You still have to do that yourself. Number two, it will not make you more spiritual or superior. I kind of already threw that one out there because it's so annoying. But I remember a time that I thought it did. I thought that I was more superior or I maybe was more judgy because I did yoga. So over that. And I wanted to say that. I want to tell you that transparently because um, I think it's something that a lot of people fall for and they get into that identity of that and they do start to feel superior and it's ridiculous. You'll still swear, probably, if you're like me. You'll still get mad. You'll still judge people. You're still going to be messy and human and do all the messy human things because you're human. At the end of the day, yoga or no yoga, you're human. Sorry. It doesn't erase your ego. And in some cases, if it becomes your identity crush, it will make your ego even louder, even worse, even more annoying to everybody else around you. All right. So don't just spiritualize this whole thing and make like your ego a spiritual thing now because you do yoga. No, egos are icky. They're icky. You don't need them. And even if it is aligned with yoga, it's not cool. And I remember this very closely because when I was just starting out teaching, I was in the throes of all of these things that I'm talking about today of self-destructive behaviors and habits, but still really trying to identify with being a yoga teacher and really being spiritual and wearing the right clothes and aligning with everything. And it was like obsessive in itself. And I had one of my friends like straight check me, like someone who'd known me since forever, since I was young. And just she was like, she was like, you don't gotta be so Yogi Bear all the time. Like, honestly, drop it. And it just like gut punched me because I was like, but I am a yoga teacher. And it really made me step back and look at like what I was doing and behaving and saying and believing and the identity I was putting on is much too much of a mask. And it sort of allowed me the permission to drop it and be like, oh, okay, I was just joking. I don't need to be like that. And just kind of be like myself in the role without all of the mask of the Zen facade. What a relief when you just kind of drop the whole, okay, this makes me better or more spiritual. You can just let yourself be human and you can let others be human too. And it creates way more connection with those that you're around or that you're teaching because you don't think that you're superior. They don't put you on a pedestal. You're right there with you. They're like you're together on the same level instead of like this weird dissonance. And it takes a ton of pressure off. So drop it. Like you don't need to be so Yogi Bear. I'm just going to give you the words right from my friend. And that was a long time ago. That was like a decade ago, but it just sticks. And I wanted to share that with you. Okay, finally, yoga won't fix you or make you whole. It's not going to fix your trauma. Sorry. I know there's a lot of like trauma release classes and a lot of classes and series and things that are kind of revolving around trauma. And I'm not saying that some good can't come from those. Sitting with stuff, allowing things to come up, it's not going to make you whole, though. You're not going to go through all this yoga classes of asana postures and this and that and just come out like this whole person. I can't tell you how long or how many times I worked on my postures or went to other classes and things thinking I was going to walk out. I was just going to paradigm shift in class and walk out a brand new person, healed. I released all the pent up energy and the stored blocked energy from these things. Now, movement of energy from yoga is legit. I'm not going to say that it's not, especially when you pair it with things like sound baths, with chanting. I think there's breath work, all of it. Yes, energy does move and things can move and trauma can begin to surface more than anything. The healing comes from you. Moving the stored energy is going to surface that shit. So guess what? You got to be brave for it. because it will actually just bring it up and make you feel it more. It won't magically make it go away, but you still have to process it. You still have to learn from the healing of it, the lessons from it. You still have to have the forgiveness to release it. You still have to move through it. So you can't lean on yoga like it's just going to away your trauma. It's not. It's going to help you maybe move some energy and surface some things so that you can deal with it. But it's not a cure all. And I'm sorry. I spent many years thinking it would just cure my addiction. I would no longer be an addict. I would no longer have anger and I would no longer be ashamed. I would no longer hate, that thing that happened when I was 5 that I was still hanging on to. I would deal with all my self-worth issues. No, I still had to deal with all of that on my own. The yoga made me hyper aware, moved energy, and gave me some really great tools for grounding myself when the anxiety of dealing with those things ran rampant. So I also think that when we place all the power on yoga postures and asana for being the thing that will fix us and cure all our trauma, there's like a weird, like you just stop the sentence in the first part of that and realize that it's wrong. There's nothing to fix. You're not broken. If you say you're broken, it implies you have to fix yourself. You don't have to. You just are. Okay. You're not broken. Don't lean on that identity. You just are. You just are what you are. Okay. Can you be okay with that? Does that mean there's not some things you'd like to pull into some better alignment? Some things you might want to forgive, to move beyond? Sure. But you're not broken. You're not like something you have to glue together. It's not how it works. You're whole already. You're just in a certain way. So if you want to reshape or realign, that's on you to do that, to kind of like mold it into what you'd rather be. Either way, you're whole. And that's a lot of what I share and lead people through with my Centered Wellness Leader Blueprint, my course that I have. It's all about locking into that alignment, shape shifting yourself. You're not broken though. Let me be clear. There's just alignment, and then there's times where you feel a little misaligned and you want to shapeshift into that alignment. And then again, align your mind, body, and actions so that you do make the change that you want or be the change or become that highest aligned expression that you feel would be best for you. Okay. So you're not broken. Don't worry about that. Just be aware of what you would like to embody and start making some decisions based on that. But don't give your power away and think that it's outside of you. Okay. So you are not your practice, my friend. You are much more powerful than it. 100%. So, final thoughts on this: respect the practice as it is for what it is, not the fantasy version, not this grandiose social media, over advertised, beauty-esque, image worthy. No, it's steadiness and ease. And it's whatever you want it to be. And that's my next point. Know why you're practicing. And if it's one of the things that I listed, it's not going to help you, scratch it, start over. What else can you find in the practice that would really do you good? That could really just be enough for you, just to show up and do it. When you show up on your mat, know why you're practicing. Okay. Be very intentional about that. Release overimportance, please. Release the overimportance. If you miss a day, you will not die. Let me tell you something. I actually thought I was so identified with practicing every day, teaching a lot. And I went through a life-altering experience where my whole world crumbled and changed. Every atmospheric thing in my whole world changed. Okay. So everything changed. And so did my yoga practice. I stopped teaching for a while. I didn't even get on a mat for 3 months, for 3 solid months. That was unheard of. Before, I thought I would have crumbled and died. Like I didn't know. I was scared. Like, what would happen if I didn't practice yoga today? Like, oh my God. Guess what? Nothing happened. I lost a little flexibility. So I wouldn't say nothing happened, but nothing happened. Okay. You're going to be okay. Don't place over importance on the practice because it just traps you in this identity with it. Okay. You are not your practice. All right. Beyond that, just respect everybody's journey. And as much as I've been kind of bashing, maybe some things that you identify with, I respect your journey, whatever that is. Even if it's the things I said, don't fall into that trap. And you're like, no, I'm going to argue that. Feel free, argue it. I'm okay with that. I respect your journey. I just want you to avoid the traps if you can and find a really good intentional way of practicing that makes sense, that isn't a part of a fantasy or an illusion, that empowers you and not your practice, that puts the power back in your hands, because that is truly where it all lies with you, not your mat, not your mat. Okay. But you got to respect other people because just because maybe you become a little more aware of all this and grow and mature around your yoga practice doesn't mean you should look around and judge others harshly. Maybe a little bit. Maybe you'll roll your eyes, but then you'll just tuck it off and move on and just bless them on their journey because that is really what you would want. You just want someone to see you and bless you just the same. So, and let me just mention if you do go to yoga for stress relief, it is a stress reliever. It is. But let me give you something that's a little more sustainable and nips stress right in the bud where it's rooted rather than having to go and like externally topically try and tamper down the stress, relieve it. Let's work from the ground up. Start changing your habits that are contributing to your own stress. That's right. I'm putting accountability back on you, your habits, behaviors, thoughts, beliefs that are creating stress in your life. Grab my free online workshop called Rewiring for Calm. Link is in the description. Watch that, go through it, journal it out. You're going to start to see how you can change how you react, how you're behaving, what you're doing, the things that are leading to stress, and start to alleviate that from the inside, like really work from the primary space of that rather than just having to get so to the point where you're so stressed out, you got to go to yoga. Wait, you can go to yoga because it's fun, because it feels good, because there's community or a great group of people there for all the other fantabulous reasons than needing desperately to relieve some stress. Start from the ground zero with me in that online workshop. It's free, it's worth your time. Okay, beyond that, just remember you hold all the power, not your mat. And until I see you on the next video, teach better, stress less, lead from alignment. I'll see you around.